Your nervous system will create self-sabotage until you prepare it not to. Welcome to Embodied Entrepreneur. This podcast helps female entrepreneurs heal trauma and regulate the nervous system so that they can build a profitable, sustainable, and anxiety-free business. I am your host, Sheridan. By the end of this episode, you will learn the sneaky nervous system limit that keeps you worried, anxious, and stressed, the only way to make your heart's desires become manifest using the body, and the 3 steps to stop self-sabotage using nervous system regulation. There is a fundamental truth that underlies this entire episode, and if there's anything that you learn about the nervous system, I want you to learn this. The nervous system will prioritize a familiar discomfort over an unknown comfort. Essentially, your nervous system will keep you comfortably uncomfortable, no matter how dire the situation is. It would rather keep you in an unknown, very, very bad situation instead of venturing out into it would rather keep you in a known, very, very bad situation over venturing out into the unknown, no matter how good that unknown is most likely going to be, no matter how good it's going to be according to what we see in our mind. If your nervous system perceives it as unknown, it's going to do everything it can to try and avoid that. Now, I don't want you to start thinking, oh, but it's against me or something. No, I think of it as like this, like guardian angel trying to protect you and support you. However, sometimes there can be a miscommunication between the information that the angel has versus like what you and your logical mind have. And so when that happens, we kind of run into something called self-sabotage. Now, I don't have a better word for this. It's not the best word. I'm not open to suggestions, but I do like this word because essentially it means that there is, in essence, a part of yourself that is sabotaging what another part of you wants. So when I looked up in Google what self-sabotage was, just for this episode, I found it is when people do or do not do things that block their success or prevent them from accomplishing their goals. It is always well-intentioned. It is not bad and wrong. Every single person is going to self-sabotage in some way. It's natural and normal. And there are a couple of reasons why your nervous system will self-sabotage and keep you in that familiar discomfort instead of pushing and propelling you towards an unknown that is going to be much more beneficial for you and the world. Let's dive into them. So this is the sneaky little nervous system limit that keeps you worried and anxious and stressed. And I've done an episode on this before, and we'll continue talking about it. It is the upper limit. The upper limit is the upper nervous system level that basically says, this is how much pleasure and success my nervous system feels safe receiving. We all have a set point of success and pleasure and money and intimacy and just joy that we feel safe receiving. It's usually linked to the amount that we have received before, which is usually linked to and like nothing bad has happened, which is usually linked all the way back into our ancestors and very much kind of the state of our nervous system as it was kind of being developed in our mother's womb. This is kind of like your overall mental and emotional state. Now, what happens is we tend to want to evolve as human beings. And so we have this drive to evolve, yet at the same time, our nervous system has a set upper limit of, okay, historically, I've noticed that this is pretty much as good as it gets. I'm feeling pretty good, like I'm alive. This is good. And I have noticed that either I just do not know what it feels like to have more pleasure and success and money and intimacy, and therefore it's unknown, therefore I perceive it as unsafe. Or I've noticed that things have felt really good before, and then after that specific thing felt really good, there was a disaster, something happened. I don't know, maybe you were a kid and everything was feeling really good and then your parents separated, or your dad lost his job, or there was a political disruption in your country or something like this. And so what happens is your body, especially as a child, where everything is kind of about me, it starts to think, oh, okay, this is it. Like, this is the amount of pleasure and success that is safe before something bad happens, or before I just don't understand it and haven't felt it before. And because I haven't felt it before, it must be unknown. It must be unsafe. I'm going to avoid feeling it because I'm not sure if I can survive through it. Very, very simple. It's very, very primal. And what happens is it's not like our nervous systems can send us an email and be like, oh yeah, this is like, you've reached your capacity. Good work. Let's just hang out here for a while. No, it doesn't do that. What it does is it sends you signals and messages in other ways. It sends you things such as worry. When you're worrying and when you're planning, it sends you things such as like you judging yourself. It sends you things such as you just feeling heavy and shameful and like guilty. Like if you ever felt guilty because things are going well, it sends you things such as you bickering or fighting with your family or creating drama in your friend circle. It sends you things such as judging others. It suddenly invents all of these problems in your life that you kind of know how to solve. Like your car breaks down and you spend ages solving that. And it just sends you all of these little problems. And you kind of create these problems. You create these fights and you don't realize that you're doing it. You create these fights. You create the problem with the window cleaner, and you create all of these little problems that your body knows how to solve because it's solved them before, in order to avoid solving the bigger problem of how can I feel more safe with this much pleasure, this much success, this much intimacy, this much confidence, this much love, right? And so what I want to invite you to do is just kind of notice, like, where am I complaining? Where am I complacent? Where am I worrying? Where am I judging myself or others? Where am I creating problems in my life that really just they're not problems. They don't need to be solved. That is one of the ways that we self-sabotage, and it's one of the ways that we avoid expanding our upper limit. We're going to talk about how to expand that upper limit in a second. Sometimes the upper limit isn't necessarily connected to a specific fear. Sometimes it's just, I need to get used to this new level of abundance and success. However, sometimes what happens is we self-sabotage because we're at this upper limit because what we want, our body perceives as unsafe. So I'll say that again. We self-sabotage because what we want, our body perceives as unsafe. For example, sometimes you want a specific thing. Let's say that you really want to let's just go with 5K months. You really, really want 5K months, right? Or maybe you want 10K months or 20K months. And you want these higher numbers because that's what would make you feel really supported in leaving your job or having a baby. So we have this desire. But sometimes what happens is the body says, no, I'll lose it. I'll lose it and then I'll have a kid and I won't have a job and I could never maintain this specific thing. And then I'll lose it and then I'll be heartbroken and then I won't know what to do. And then it will be worse than the last time that I lost it. It will be absolutely awful. Or let's just say you want a really nice new car, or you want some really nice new clothes, or you want to be able to take Tuesday afternoons off because you create your own schedule. You can want that. However, if your body perceives that you having that is going to equal your friends and family being envious of you or judging you, your body isn't going to feel safe giving you thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are going to propel you to get there. Or you can say you want to sign 3 more clients this month. But if you're already tired and your body's perceiving that, oh, if I sign 3 more clients this month, I'm going to have to show up more and I'm going to be more tired, then your body is not going to propel you to achieve that goal. Or you won't have enough time, right? It's going to feel like it's seeing all of the problems with you getting what you want. And if it perceives any type of resistance around that or any type of problem with you getting what you want, it is not going to give you the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and impulses to get that thing. It's going to give you the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and impulses that actually avoid that. AKA, now there's a drama in my family. Now I'm fighting with my best friend. Now I'm spending my time figuring out taxes. Now I'm planning. Now I'm just anxious. Now I'm like doing all of these things. Right? There was one that came up recently for a couple of different clients, and I have my own experience with this as well, which is like, and maybe I will do a podcast on this. I have noticed, I'm going to try and tell the story like it's three of us, that perhaps sometimes we feel unsafe to earn money because we think we're going to lose it, or we'll be intimate with too many other people. So the way that this can play out very specifically in business as well is like, for example, if you feel that if your body feels that it's unsafe to earn money, maybe because you'll lose it, maybe because you'll be too seen by other people, too intimate with other people. What happens is you might get on a sale call and you go in with like the best energy possible. You've just like prepared, you've got this, it's going to be amazing. You come in. And then what happens at the end of the call, when you're getting towards that moment where you're talking about money and the person is about to enroll, maybe there's like an anxious part of you that comes in and makes tiny little changes, either in your posture, in your energy, in the way that you speak, or in the things that you offer, makes little changes and sabotages that call. And both of you walk away like, oh, no, it wasn't the best fit. But you're thinking, well, I kind of like, what happened there? And it's simply because your body didn't feel like it was safe to bring that client on. So you put in all of this effort and you didn't actually get what you needed to receive. And then you're more tired and we go down and we snowball down there.
Okay, great. That sounds awful. So what do I do about it?
This is Freya. She is my assistant co-host and she's building her business alongside you and asking the questions that I know you guys are already asking. It is a really good question. So what do we do about it? I did promise you 3 steps to stop self-sabotage with nervous system regulation. So here goes. What do we do to increase our upper limit, to move through the barriers of what our body perceives as safe, and bring coherence between what your heart and mind wants and what your body perceives as safe, and manifest all the things that we want? There are 3 main steps that I like to use when I'm using with every client, and you can focus on just using one of them, or you can focus on using all of them at the same time. But the first one is to increase feelings of safety in our day-to-day life. So for example, if one of the reasons that your body doesn't feel safe to give you what you like is because you are tired and you are really busy and you're running around, and it's like, well, if I'm going to sign more clients, then I'm going to be more tired. Then what we need to do is increase feelings of safety in your day-to-day life so that your body begins to say, okay, I can hold and do this amount of activity or this amount of connection or receive this amount of money. Like I feel good at receiving and doing and being this version of myself. It feels safe. When it has a baseline safety and nourishment with what it has, then it starts to begin to kind of flourish, grow, and expand naturally. One of the ways we do this so much, and it's so important that I've made it step 2, is to increase the resources that we have that make us feel like we can do hard things. So increase the amount, when I say resources, resourcing is like something that helps you feel really safe and empowered and grounded and good. It's just something that makes you feel like you can do hard things, or you can hold hard emotions, or you can feel good today, right? A resource is my cat, which you may have been hearing meow because she's very impatient at the moment and wants lots of attention, because she helps me feel she helps me feel good, you know? She helps me feel nice in life. That's a resource. So we want to increase our resources and the way that we use our resources so that we feel that we can do more hard things. And we have to actually go out and do those hard things as well. And what we're doing is we're increasing the capacity of our nervous system to move into the unknown and move into the difficulties and then come back to a safe space where it feels nourished. And that helps it feel like, oh, I can stretch into this unknown. I can do these new things because I know how to look after myself. I know that I'm going to return to a home base. I know that I have all of these things that support me in venturing out into more difficult things and being okay at the end of the day. The third step to stop self-sabotage is to prime the nervous system for success by using somatic tools. So this really speaks specifically to the point where I spoke about how we can want something in mind and heart, but our body might perceive it to be unsafe. We need to prime the nervous system to feel safe receiving that specific thing before we actually receive it. So if we can help the body feel safe receiving that thing, then when we go out into the world, we experience the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and impulses to arrive to that thing. Then we stabilize feeling safe with that thing, and then we can move on to the next. I do have an episode. It's episode 45. It's called 3 Ways to Prime Your Body and Nervous System to Sign More Clients. This episode is going to be perfect for that last step and just priming the nervous system. If you're not working on signing more clients, then add in a different goal. You're still going to use the same tools. I use this for literally all of my goals, everything in life, everything. In the episode, you're going to learn the really, really often ignored and most important part to sign more clients or achieve your goals. You're going to learn the simple daily actions you cannot miss if you would like to increase your income this month, and a somatic practice to prime your nervous system for more clients or whatever your goal is.